So synthetic biology is essentially the idea that we can build things to help change traits that organisms have. Largely, it consists of constructing DNA sequences that can give organisms certain traits. And it's really a very rapidly developing field as our ability to synthesize DNA grows and it becomes less and less expensive to do so. It's going to be employed more and more in the world, and it's really going to give us an opportunity to grow better crops, reduce the effects of pollution on the environment, and really just make the world a better place in many ways. I kind of had a fairly long path getting into this area. Most of my favorite classes as an undergraduate were actually natural history classes, ornithology, dendrology, learning about birds and plants and things like that. And at the time I had a relatively limited idea of what sort of career options were available. And so I ended up actually becoming a high school biology teacher for a few years. And as I was a high school teacher, I was reading books about this field of what's called EVO-DEVO, evolutionary developmental biology, which was the idea that our technology has advanced enough to where we can actually identify the differences in organisms' DNA that cause them to have different traits. And for me, this was really cool because not only could we potentially identify different species of birds, but in some cases we could find the differences in their DNA that gave them different traits, for example. After several years of teaching high school biology, I decided to go to graduate school, where I went to the University of Wisconsin in Madison. From there, I moved out here to Utah, where I was a postdoc at the University of Utah, looking at the different traits that different domestic breeds of pigeons have and identifying the differences in their DNA that cause those traits. After a few years at the University of Utah, I was fortunate enough to land a position here at Utah Valley University, where I've continued that pigeon research, but in addition have brought in some of these other projects as well. I've always been involved in just trying to find opportunities for students to get involved in research. A big project that we're working on right now, starting this summer, has involved trying to look for ways to clean up Utah Lake. Our students are participating in this project called the International Genetically Engineered Machine Project, where students have to engineer an organism to solve some sort of problem of local relevance. The students really took it upon themselves to identify the pollution in Utah Lake as the problem they wanted to work on. Because of all of the municipal wastewater, there's excess nutrients flowing into the lake, and this promotes the development of harmful algal blooms. Anywhere where you have human population centers near bodies of water, a lot of times these harmful algal blooms become a problem because humans produce nutrients in their waste, and those nutrients flow into bodies of water, and the bacteria that live in those bodies of water use those nutrients to multiply rapidly. And so what the students wanted to do was to look for ways to engineer a helpful species of algae to basically consume those nutrients before they enter the lake so that the harmful algae have fewer nutrients to grow on. The students will be presenting the results of their project at this international symposium called the Grand Jamboree. There will be hundreds of teams there from across the world that will be also presenting their project. There will be experts in the area of synthetic biology that will be there as well. And so it will be just a fantastic opportunity for students to get to learn more about what is possible in this realm of genetic engineering and synthetic biology. The group of students working on this project has been very diverse. We've got some that are actually graduating within the next semester or so, and we've got others that have just completed their first year here at UVU. And so that's been fun as well because you have students with a variety of skill levels and areas of experience. And so in many cases, the older students can mentor the younger students and help them gain the skills as they work on this project. So the hope is that even though we're looking at it and we're most interested in applying it in the context of Utah Lake, that the tools and the techniques that the students develop could potentially be applied anywhere where there are these harmful algal bloom problems. If anybody out there is interested in helping us solve the harmful algal bloom problem, please click the link below and we would gladly accept your donations. We really appreciate your assistance. Thank you.